Well, it's Thursday evening on the Digital Sim Sports Network and the Dirt Racing Network, and that means it's Mighty Midget Night. NetCode ESports Mighty Midget Series. Double features in action here live from the virtual Cedar Lake Speedway. Got about 16 drivers checked in for this one. If this is anything like last week's show, it's pretty doggone exciting, and we saw a couple of winners come from pretty much the front of the field, but the winner in the first one, the way they run this thing, the winner in the first one, he did not have a good starting spot for the second one. He could not sweep. If we see a sweep one of these shows, it is going to be something pretty daggone special. What we're going to do, they're going to random draw for their starting spots in the heat races in show number 1, run all the heats off, and then we're going to go to the feature 30 laps. Show number 2, they're going to qualify. Top 6 are automatically locked into the feature in the front 3 rows. Everybody else, last chance qualifier, and that will set the rest of the starting lineup. So you could have a bad qualifying effort and still race your way to a pretty decent starting spot. Row 4 on back. So, going to be a fun one. Guys, do not be afraid to say hi in the chat. Let us know where you're watching from. Let us know if you got a favorite driver, who that might be. You never know. They may be watching. And a lot of the guys do not mind chiming in sometimes, especially when they are paying attention. Well, final show for this week. We start again on Sunday. MARS, and they go to the dirt this week with the limited late models, and then Monday night the double shows with DSRL and the Monday Night Thunder Bunch. Big block modifieds at 8 and UMP modifieds at 9:30. And then this week is the season finale for Short Track Showdown Series. We'll crown a champion over there. And then we'll work our way all the way back around to another wonderful Thursday night. And some more Mighty Midgets. Watching the two guys that are quickest onto the speed chart right now. They're just running together right here, lap to lap to lap to lap. Now, we have seen the driver in the 7 car pull a sweep at Cedar Lake a couple of seasons ago. The Kiwi conqueror Craig Silby won both races on the Thursday night that we came here. So, somebody who's already swept Cedar once, we'll see if he can do it again. Billy Barros, last season's champion by just a handful of points. See if he can get in the win column and maybe pull a sweep off here tonight. All the usual suspects in the house. You can see the list there on the left of the screen. Going to be a pretty good one. I was watching a lot of these guys in practice, and everybody looks pretty smooth. Nobody looks like they're out of control. Everybody looks like they got a pretty good handle on this little bull ring here, so it should be a lot of fun. Robert Yonke. Kurt Vincent. Well, big shout out to the 42 car. Yeah, he shows 19. I swear to God that car's got a 42 on the sub. I don't know. Some of these guys are registered as a number that is not necessarily their number, but let's look at the starting lineup for our first heat race. And it will be the 2 of Robert Lynn starting on the pole, and the 7 of Craig Silby on his outside. Wow. You want to talk about stacking it against everybody. You put the Kiwi Conqueror on the front row. That could be everybody racing for second in this one. Row 2 on the inside, the 98 of Brett Wagner. On his outside, you'll see the 66 of David Krikorian. And your driver that finished just a couple of points short of being the champion last season in the 49 car, Bo Brandon. He starts row 3 on the inside, and he'll have Riley Scott in that red, black, and white number 88. On his outside, it'll be 6 cars. They'll have 8 laps. Everybody's going to the feature. And there's Robert Lynn in that new paint. I got so used to what he had last year that it's going to be tough for me to get used to that purple. I do like that, but it's going to be tough for me to get used to seeing him in that car. Kurt Vincent going to put a whooping on him tonight. All right. Well, I guess we're going to find out here pretty quick how Mr. Vincent stacks up this evening. I think he had pretty crappy luck last week. He might have had one good race, but one of them, I'm pretty sure he got cut up in half the 3 cautions that occurred, and none of it was his doing, if I remember right. It might have been in a race before that, but either way, going to get ready to go green out of 4. As soon as that pace truck accelerates away from the field, we'll see Robert Lynn get us going here. Pace truck should take off here any second. He'll go down the front stretch and go flying out into the pits, out of turn number 1. And there goes Robert Lynn. Green flag in the air. Got a little blinker going on there. I think that's Wagoner, Brett Wagoner. Here comes Silby around the top side. Challenge for the lead on lap number 1. Silby's going to get to the line first. Lynn second. Now Krikorian working the outside. It's the red and black car. He's trying to go around Lynn. He's got Brandon right behind him, and Brandon took a different line. They're almost 3 wide coming out of 4 on lap number 2. Robert Lynn on that inside quickly falling back. Maybe he can pull the anchor in and salvage a 4th place finish here, because right now he is behind Silby, Krikorian, and Brandon. He's only got Riley Scott and Brett Wagner in behind. Go closer to the front because Krikorian's going to get a challenge from Brandon. They're going to go side by side in 3 and 4. Krikorian hold and serve. Big bump already starting to develop at the entry to turn 1. You can watch these cars when they go across. They hop just a little bit. Slider line for the 2 drivers. Krikorian hangs on to it. Battle is for second. We're coming around 2 to go. Heat number 1. Silby out front. Oh, Krikorian clipped the fence just a little bit. That might be all that Brandon needs. Now he can focus on the guy out front, and boy, he is running him down real quick. White flag coming out this time. We'll have a battle for the lead on the last lap. Silby through the middle. Brandon, momentum off the top. Not enough of that time. We'll see what he can do in 3 and 4. He couldn't get to the slider line. Silby's going to hold him off. He wins heat 1. Brandon second. Krikorian third. Scott got around Lynn late. He comes home 4th. Lynn 5th. And Brett Wagner in the 6th spot. 1 in the books. We'll get ready. Go down here and look at the starting grid for heat number 2. It's going to be the 26 of Cody Williams on the pole with the 6 of Josh Cox to his outside. Reed Brochart in that 93 Skull Candy machine. He'll start in the 3rd spot with Wayne Anelski in the 13 car on his outside. And then your defending series champion, the 38 of Billy Barros, will start 5th in our 2nd heat. We'll get one more pace lap around before they cut them loose. Maybe. I say that. I know these guys like to fire this thing off. Nope. We're going to get one more pace lap. The truck not going quite quick enough to get out of the way. Reed Brochart was very consistent and very fast last season. Billy Barros, man, I mean, Mr. Be there when he needed to be every single time to maintain his points lead. And he did the exact things he needed to do on the final night to win the championship. So we're going to watch the 93 and the 38 car for this one. But the green flag is in the air and a huge start for Williams. He is going to be about 15 car lengths in front of these guys. Brochart to second. Cox is still third. Anelski 4th. Barros trapped behind the side-by-side. Now he'll probably have a shot to get around Anelski as Anelski got loose out of 4. But he runs right up on Cox. Has to kind of check the car down. Cox running the exact line that Barros wants to be on. Still Williams out front, but Brochart's reeling him in. We're watching the battle for 3rd and 4th right now. Looks like Brochart nicked the fence down the front stretch. Still making up time. He has clipped this down to less than about 2 car lengths. Oh, Billy Barros. Oh, my goodness. Big crash. No cautions in your heat races, guys. No cautions. That is why we're not going to slow this down. We're going to get to the front. I thought for a second that Brochart was going to make the run and try to get to the inside of Williams on that last lap. I almost took the camera off of that big incident with Barros. That's going to put Barros starting in a deep hole for the feature this evening, so we'll have to see how he recovers from that. He and Brandon and 3 or 4 other guys, all very good and consistent in their points, average finishes of 1.5 to 2.5 last week. We're coming around to the white flag, and Williams is still hanging on to the lead, but Brochart looking all over the place, inside, outside, just not able to close up on the corner exits. And the lead growing again as we're going to come around for the checkers in Heat 2 here. It's all Williams. Cody's picking up the win. Reed Brochart will be second. Wayne Anelski into the third finishing spot. Josh Cox quite a ways back. He and Barros had contact, and it dropped him back, Barros, off the track, so he'll be 5th in that heat. But 2 in the books. We'll get ready for our third and final. And we are going to put the 19 of Kurt Vincent on the pole for this one, with Mike Gebhardt in the 81 on his outside. Row 2 on the inside. He won the season opener last week. Won show number 1 and had a rough go of it in number 2. Did finish about 4th or 5th, but he started pretty deep. I want to say he started 10th or 12th of that and just struggled to come forward. Josh Gerlach will start P3. His outside, he's going to look to the right to see the 69 of Stephen Moore, and then you're going to look on the back, and you're going to see the Digital Sim Sports Network machine of Garrett Boyd. See, I knew that car had a 40. It looks like a 49 on the front. It's not a 42. It looks like it has a 49 on the front. There's something about the way those numbers are on there. A lot of activity over on YouTube. I'm not seeing too much from the Facebook or Twitch folks. So if you're over there, make sure you say hi. Let me know that we're streaming, that you can hear us good. You can see us well. The green flag over the final heat race. Kurt Vincent into 3 and 4. He's barely got the lead over Gerlach. Gerlach shined in the first race last week. Ran well in his heat, ran great in the feature. Here comes Garrett Boyd from the back. He's trying to slide his way into the third spot. He's got company off the top side. Oh, I don't know what is going on with that ticker. Ooh, that's crazy looking. But he has got Gebhardt challenging hard for the third spot. And right now, Josh Gerlach has gone to the lead. Vincent hanging on to second, but here comes Boyd. Boyd tried to run the very inside, take the spot. He does a little, clips a tire, slows the car, loses 2 spot. Oh, Gebhardt into the fence. He's going to go for a ride into turn 1. He'll get that thing out of the way. So we'll go watch Josh Gerlach. He is just streaking away from these guys. Vincent still second. Boyd hanging on to third. Stephen Moore has moved into the 4th spot. He may make a challenge for third here. We're inside 3 to go. Final heat race of session number 1. And Josh Gerlach just running away with this thing. He's right up to the fluff, putting that right rear on the makeshift cushion that's up there. 2 to go for him. Then promptly takes it to the bottom and finds half of the buried tires along that inside. He tried to mess up his whole program. We're going to look at second because Boyd is working around Vincent. Got the run out of 4. Shoots right by on the white flag lap. See if he can hang on. Here comes Stephen Moore. Moore is going to go by Kurt Vincent as well. Ooh, all the way to the fence. Gerlach wins it. Boyd is second. Who's going to be third? Moore by 6/100ths. Vincent in 4th and Gebhardt out of it early, and he finishes in the 5th spot. So heat racing action is over. No need for consolations. Everybody going to the feature. They'll have a few minutes in the warm-up. We've turned the lights on. Driver's starting to roll out. Well, that wasn't it. There we go. Okay. Oh, let's see who is in our lovely chat. Ah, okay. Well, that's why they're not doing this short. La, 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 la. Man, I do like it when they bring all the guys in. That is a lot of fun. Kurt Vincent, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
All right, man. You got a bunch of fans into the chat cheering for you, and Heat Race really didn't go your way. What are we going to have to do different in the feature so that the 19 car can come forward?
Man, I'll be honest. We just got to be better at this. More laps would be great, but just a great group of guys to be racing with. So it's fun. That's all it's about. Glad it got cleaned up for this season. And aside from that, just try to follow the moisture.
All right, man. Well, you got a bunch of people in the chat over on the YouTube cheering for the 19 car. They were certain that you were just going to run away and hide all night long. So, I mean, I'm not going to say, you know, you got a tall order to fulfill here, but you got a tall order to fulfill here, buddy.
Hey, luckily I'm 5'3", so the shoes aren't that big to fill, right? No, I've always had a lot of good friends and family and fans that no matter what we're racing have been there. So I can't be any more appreciative than I am of those people that have been involved with this. So the iRacing stuff's for fun. Glad that they chimed in and watched, whether it be on Facebook or YouTube or whatnot, but I appreciate it.
All right, man. Well, good luck out there tonight, and hopefully we'll get a chance to talk to you on the podium here in session number 1 when this feature's over.
Man, wouldn't that be the goal? Thanks, Roger. I appreciate it. We'll see how this goes.
All right. Kurt Vincent, everybody. Driver of the 19 car. I know he's got a bunch of fans in here. Hello, Mr. Lloyd. I see you in the chat. Don't know how long I'm going to give these guys. I know they said that the reason why they're not doing the short pace lap deals is because it messed up the servers. And I do recall something weird happening a while back with that, so I kind of get it. Just watching the guys out here making some laps. Not everybody coming out 4 laps. Krikorian and Brandon have already taken theirs back in. They said, we're good enough right now. No need to tear the car up. Should be a pretty good feature. I think the last time we were here, this was one of the best races of the season. I'm trying to think back. I didn't go back and watch it, but I'm wanting to say we had a very, very good race. It was super competitive. There was 4 or 5 cars at the front battling in both sessions for the win. Right at the end of it. Now, during the middle part, it kind of got a little stagnant, but the guys all came back together. So hopefully we get to see something like that tonight. I can see a couple of slick spots starting to develop. One of them is through the exit of 4 down on the bottom side, and the other one is the exit of 2. It's a very thin strip, but it starts in the middle and goes all the way around almost to the very exit of the corner. And as always, the entries, they always slick off real bad. There's a bump in the top side of turn 1. If the cars are a little high, they are going to bounce around getting into 1. That could change things. If you go in there, bounce around, you really got to wait for the car to settle before you can throttle it back up. And that momentum is everything in this little midget. So a few minutes just waiting for them to notify us that they're getting ready to advance. Again, I'll remind everybody about Sunday night, 8 o'clock Eastern, MARS Scrub-A-Dub. Limited Late Model Series be back in action. Those guys always put on a good show. That's a well-run league. It's one of the better-run leagues on iRacing. They get a lot of drivers. Here we go. There's the signal. We're getting ready to go. Going to move us forward. We are going to come down here. You know, I just don't know. I think we'll just try to go somewhere around to get a good view. Show you the starting lineup for this one. Silby and Williams will be on the front row, and boy, that's going to be a lot of fun to watch because both were fast in their heat races. Gerlach and Brandon, they have a row 2 locked down. Brochart and Boyd in row 3. Krikorian and Nelski in row 4. Moore and Scott, that's your 5th row. Cox and Vincent in row number 6. Lynn and Barros, row 7. Gebhardt and Wagoner in row number 8. So, your defending champ, who is in the points already this season by virtue of, I want to say, a couple of third-place finishes in last week's race. He's got a tall order. He's going to have to come from 14th. And all the guys that are ahead of him already in the points, well, they're starting all in front of him. And with the shuffle, and I'm watching to see where they're going to go, they're getting single file. Brandon, Brochart, then Gerlach and Williams. Gerlach, Silby, then Williams. That's your invert. So we're going to shake it up. Man, Tebow, Brandon on the front row. Whoo. That is huge. Already 13 spots in front of his biggest points rival. And now they'll get them set up here. They're going to get them doubled up. And then we're going to go green. Pole sitter, I believe, has choice of what lane he wants to be in. And maybe we're going to go single file green. Just waiting. They did this last week, and then they double filed everybody. Here we go with double file. That's how it'll be. It'll be Brandon Brochart, then Boyd and Gerlach, Williams and Silby, Krikorian and Anelski in our front four. Everybody else behind that is exactly as they were. But we are going to go green out of 4. Session number 1, 30-lap feature underway for the mighty Midget's NetCode ESports. And I think everybody's just going to be trying to catch the 49 car. Boy, you put him up on the front row. He is he's like most of these guys. You give him clean track, he's going to be a handful to try to run down. All the way around. Off and down the backstretch. He's running low, slider line type in 3 and 4, and he is running right at the top. In 1 and 2. Caution, caution, caution. I'm not sure. Josh Cox. Josh Cox. Yeah, he is. He's having an issue here already. What happened to him? Looks like he and Kurt Vincent got just a little out of shape, and Cox got hit on the right front, and then a tumble, and it did not roll over and land on its wheels. That's unfortunate for Josh, because I think he would have been okay if that thing would have landed on its wheels. That was a little Tommy tip over right there. Yes, Mr. Karf, this is a fixed setup series. So we're going to lose the 6th car of Cox unless they tow him super fast and everything's cool and he can get back out here. But that usually takes 3 or 4 minutes, and the caution laps aren't quite that long here. Just a couple of laps into this. Brandon Brochart, Boyd, Gerlach, Krikorian, Williams, Silby, Anelski, Moore, Barros, Wagoner, Scott, Lynn, Gebhardt, and Vincent, the running order. I'm happy to see some people over on Facebook chiming in. Now, if we get somebody on Twitch. All right, pace truck getting out of the way, going back to the green flag. Tebow Brandon throwing the whip to it. Big jump. Down the backstretch into 3 and 4. He is running that slider line right there. That is good stuff. He is going right down to the tires and then taking it right out to the fluff at the very exit. 1 and 2. He is all around the top. Right rear goes right to the fluff in 3 and 4. Man, You can't ask for a better line. He is right exactly where he needs to be. Brochart still second. Battle starting to shape up. Third and fourth. That's going to be Gerlach and Boyd. G-Body and the Garlic Man going at it. Brandon really getting away from these guys. 1.25 seconds. And now it starts to close down. He loses a quarter second just in the space of the front stretch right there. Still watching this battle for third right now. Boyd is up along the top. He's trying to use the cushion all the way around, and Gerlach bottom to middle. Pretty clean racing. 21 to go this time. Here comes Silby, the Kiwi Conqueror. Trying to fight his way through. Alongside now for fourth place. He's got Gerlach moving up the hill. He's able to clear him at the exit, but the big run coming down off of the banking is giving Silby a ton of momentum. The Gerlach. Man, I got the two of them confused. It's giving him just so much momentum. He just rockets away from the 7 car. Brandon's building up his lead again. Coming around for 18 to go this time, and he is out to 1.8 seconds. Boyd trying to run Brochart down. Gerlach's trying to chase him again. Maybe they can get into a battle again. Gap stays the same from second to third. It's starting to shrink from the lead. Brandon must have jumped into the fluff maybe down here the last time around. Right up there where he really needs to be. We are single file. We're way back here before we get to double file. It's Robert Lynn, Kurt Vincent, and Stephen Moore. And they're not quite 3 wide, but they're trying real hard to get there. Gebhardt, 15th place. He is not far in front of these leaders, about 4 seconds in front of your leader. And the gap's starting to grow again from first to second. Second to third has shrunk. Third to fourth. Fourth to fifth. So you got 4 cars almost under a blanket battling for the final 2 podium spots. There goes Silby lifting the front tires. That'll cost him. And there. Oh, your leader. Oh, the leader found a problem. Let's see. He might have decided to change his line. Oh, he did not. He goes up good on the fluff. Comes off the corner. And I don't know, maybe his screen went black because he did blink pretty hard right there. He might have lost sight of what was going on. Wow. That is interesting. That's how you lose the lead. Oh, my. So that'll shake us up quite a bit down here. It'll be Brochart, Boyd, Gerlach, Silby, Williams, Krikorian, Barros, Anelski, Wagner, Lynn, Vincent, Moore, Gebhardt, and Brannon now. From the penthouse to the outhouse just like that. And look at that, Billy Barros. Hard charger. 7 improved spots. Started 14th, he's up to 7th, and we still got about 13 laps to go in this thing. Now, Josh Gerlach is part of that points battle. Brandon was part of it. Barros is part of it. Man, my memory is not what it once was, but there was another. I was going to say there's 4 guys that were really good all week last week, and they were all kind of in that points title, or in the points championship already. So we'll have to go look it up. But we're going back to green. None of the last 13 laps to go. Cedar Lake Speedway, NetCode ESports Mighty Midget Series, session number 1. And look who's trying to steal one of the podium spots. Craig Silby working on Josh Gerlach. I think Boyd's trying to figure out where the best spot to go after Reed Brochart is. Oh, contact, big contact. This is a caution. Got to be a caution. There it is. Billy Barros is going to get in this, folks. So we're going to see something here. Watching the 7 and the 71. They're going to get together down the backstretch. Yeah, car on the outside of the right rear and the left rear touch. Billy Barros hammers Silby, gets hit twice, then gets run into from behind. Kurt Vincent gets in it. He's upside down. Looks like he's going to have to tow. So that got ugly in a hurry. And that may change a couple of things. It's going to definitely change fourth on back. And I think Gerlach trying to figure out if he got any damage out of that. He is going to hang on to third. He hit the fence and then crawled up and dropped right back down. Might have a little toe in. See if we can get the drone cam. Yeah, he's right front is towed out just a tad right there. That is what's going to happen when you smack it into the fence. So he may have some handling issues. But I think we're getting ready to go back with 11 to go. Brochard, Boyd, Gerlach, Williams, Krikorian, Anelski, Wagner, Scott Moore, Brannon, the top 10. Bo Brannon back around up into the top 10. A lot of laps left. You just got to find where the momentum's at and make it work. Gerlach went to the bottom. I'm not sure if he was confident his car would do good, and we're caution once again for Brett Wagner this time. Brett Wagner was up here. I want to say he was in about 5th or 6th. Maybe 7th. And what happened to him out of somebody. Oh, that was him. Yep, he hit the tires and he spins it around. 360s it, but a 360 is a caution every time with these cars. If there's anybody behind you. So that'll slow things down. It's getting a little sloppy here with about 10 to go. No real change in the running order. Just going to put Wagner to the back in 14th. Did Kurt Vincent make it back on track? Oh, we didn't mean for that to happen, but yeah, Kurt Vincent is back. He's a lap down, but he is going to be back on track. Every lap is important because session number 2, the track could be completely different. It could be exactly like this at a different part of this feature. So he gives as many laps as you can every time you can. Plus, anybody else drops out, yeah, he can pick up some spots. 10 to go when the green drops. This time, Brochart, Boyd, Gerlach are the top 3. They get good restarts. Top 4 got good restarts. Williams got a good restart. Around the top side, Gerlach coming up off the bottom. Good bite. He's got momentum. Brochart did very well Kern County last season. Maybe you just got to go to a track that's a C or a K because he has run good all night long here, and he is holding the lead with 8 to go. Garrett Boyd really trying to go after him, and he closes in 2, and he loses a lot of distance in 3 and 4. Somehow he is getting way too wide. Trying to make a run out of it. Gerlach, even with a little bit of toe out and running the bottom, he's able to hang on to 3rd right now. He's getting good launch out of the lower part of turn number 2 right there. 6 laps to go. Top 3, slight breakaway, not very far, about 15 car lengths over. Williams and Krikorian in 4th and 5th. Anelski. Oh, big time mistake right there by Cody Williams. Looked to me like he got out of, good Lord, stop. He got out of the good stuff and got in the icky stuff up there in 3 and 4. Just jumped over the fluff and got right to the fence. Gets it in there good and quick. Oh, yeah. Yep, that was a little bit too much of a bump with the fence. That's going to collect a couple of other guys. Brandon gets a piece. I think that's Anelski that gets a piece right there. Yes, it was. So, on the wave lap, we get another caution. We'll have a restart with 5 to go. Brochart, Boyd, Gerlach, Krikorian, Anelski, Brannon, now 6th. Scott, Silby, Barros, Moore, Lynn, Wagner, and Gebhardt. Vincent's on track a lap down. Williams is off track, and Cox is retired from this one early. Lights look like they're off on our pace vehicle. We're going to go green this time. We'll see what kind of start Brochart can get. He's going to stretch it out 7-8 car lengths. And now Gerlach going back top shelf here. Must have gotten comfortable with whatever is going on with the car. There comes Brandon. Brandon's slider. That's going to put him fifth for the moment. Boy, he got 3 wide there for just a second with Anelski. And Scott clears them. Now he's going for that slider line, working on Krikorian. Cannot get there right now. It's still Brochart out front, but here comes Boyd. If he can get a run down the backstretch, he may go for the slider. We're going to be 2 to go this time by. Out of 2. That time Boyd dropped it inside just a little bit. No momentum on the exit. He's going to stay second. We're going to come to the white flag. Brochart, Boyd, and Gerlach, and they're all fairly safe if they don't make mistakes right here. Watching the 2 out front. We're into 3 and 4, and I just don't think there's enough there for Boyd to make a move. It's going to be Brochart winning session 1. Boyd second, Gerlach third, then Krikorian, and a nice recovery 4. Bo Brandon, he comes home in 5th in session number 1. So that'll put that one to bed. And I'll tell you, he had horrible luck, and he was very inconsistent last season. But Josh Gerlach is getting things kind of going here in the new season. Good Lord, stop it. He's getting things going in the new season. Fireworks going off. Oh, let's find. There's old Reed Brochart. We'll get him ready to go. All right, time to get back down and we'll look at the 71 car. Josh Gerlach, you got a copy.
Roger Dodger.
Man, not a horrible start for your season. That's a win, a podium, and I think a 4th place in the second race last week. It's a complete turnaround for this season for the 71 car.
Yeah, off to a pretty good start. I think I need a change in my virtual driver suit. Had a big time moment there in the middle of the session, but otherwise, yeah, felt really good, and everybody was just so fast ripping the lip, in turns 1 and 2, and just did not want to get off that momentum line and give up spots, and because everybody up front was pretty equal, it seemed.
Yeah, it looked like maybe the right front was a little towed out. Did the car handle a little different after you got the fence there out of turn 4?
Initially it didn't, but when we had a couple of those cautions back to back, that last green run, we were just talking in the channel that I did not feel very good after our last restart. Don't know if I used the right rear up a little bit too much or what happened there, but it was good enough to end up getting the podium, and really feel for Bo. He had an equipment failure there that's the second time that he's had that happen leading a feature here. Just absolutely brutal, but could not be happier for Reed getting the dub there. That was really cool.
Yeah, I was going to ask you if you knew what happened to Bo, because it looked like, from my point, he had some kind of technical glitch. Maybe screen went blank or something like that, because he didn't wreck. He just tried to get out of the way, like maybe he couldn't see where he was going. He was trying to get left real quick.
Yeah, I think he said it ended up having his VR go completely out, so he had a turn where he couldn't see anything, and it looked bad from my seat, and I figured that was probably the problem. And yeah, that's twice it's happened here, and that's a big bummer, because I think he was tied for the lead or like second in the points. So still early. He can definitely rebound. He has the speed to do that.
Well, you won the first session last week and then had terrible qualifying effort. Are we going to see a better qualifying effort for session 2 this time?
A great question, man. Hopefully, hopefully I can at least lock her in the top 6 and not have to deal with the qualifier. But that was kind of nice getting some extra track time too. But we'll see how it goes. Just want to thank everybody that shows up every week here. We've had a great turnout for the start of the season. NetCode brand, alwaysraceday.com, Victory Fuel, and Methanol Moonshine. Everybody that helps us make this possible, and you for helping us with the broadcast. And yeah, we'll see what next session holds.
All right, man. Good luck in session number 2. Thanks for chatting with us, and I'll talk to you real soon.
Thanks, Roger.
Josh Gerlach, he finished in that 3rd spot, and now we'll move on. I might be a little biased. I might not. I love what's on the side of this car right here. He was not super confident when the season started about his midget prowess, but, man, he comes to Cedar Lake, runs 2nd. Garrett Boyd, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that. Felt really good in the heat, and then the little bit of warm-up I got to run, I felt really good too. So putting down times that are close to Sylvia and Garlic, so I can't complain.
Yeah, looked like you were looking for a little better spot to try to get Brochard. You were a little quicker in 1 and 2, but he was kind of eating you up in 3 and 4. What are you going to do different for session number 2?
Try to get clean air as soon as possible. Don't sit around and wait.
Right. So with the level of competition, a 2nd place finish in just your 3rd race with him, it's got to build you some confidence. Are we going to maybe see one more step up on the podium pretty quick?
We were hoping so. Hope so. After our little break here, a little practice, and hopefully we can take that one more step up and get our first NetCode win.
Yeah, well, you're representing a whole lot of awesomeness onto that car. We have high expectations for you. All right, man, give me your shout-outs, give me your thank yous, and we'll let you go head off for session number 2.
Got to thank girlfriend, you obviously for helping get the car in the show and helping us get into the series, putting DSSN on the car, and then Garlic at NetCode for putting this deal on.
All right, man, congrats on the run. Look forward to seeing you in session number 2. Thanks for chatting with us.
Thank you.
Gary Boyd finishing 2nd in session number 1, and now we have talked to him on the – whoa, wait a minute. Yeah, where'd he go? Yeah, we've talked to him on the podium a bunch of times, but now we got him on the top step. He had to change the paint to do it. Cedar Lake seems to be a place where Reed Brochard has found a home. Good run, man. Good win.
Oh, man, I really appreciate it, Roger. It feels really good to finally get my first win. That was so much fun. First off, I got to shout out Garrett for running me so clean. A couple times I broke traction, and he gave me a little bit of a break, and I had a blast.
Yeah, I was asking him. I said, "Man, it looked like you were just trying to find a way. You were a little faster here, and maybe a little off there. You were just looking for that spot to get Reed." And he just said, "Yeah, we got to do a little better. We got to find cleaner air." So looked like you did exactly what you needed to do to keep the 93 out front once you got the lead.
Yeah, honestly, the track was. You really had to kind of sail it in, kind of run that slider line to kind of defend, where you were at. And I kind of stuck with that strategy. I felt the most comfortable up there and just try not to overdrive the car. But, man, it was a blast running up front. I love running with these guys, and it's awesome when we can put on a good show like that. And I hope you had fun broadcasting that one.
We did have a lot of fun up here. So I ask this every time, no matter where we're at. You won the first show. We've seen a sweep at Cedar Lake in the past. Are we going to get a chance to see one tonight?
Oh, it is so difficult to get a sweep done. Honestly, I need to qualify well. I've struggled with qualifying historically, so maybe if I can get locked into the show, start first couple rows, maybe we can give it another go here. But I'm definitely going to do my best, Roger.
Well, have that good qualifying, get yourself locked in, be in that top 6, and then I think the 93 car will be pretty safe, man. Give me some shout-outs and thank yous, and we'll let you get ready for that next session.
Awesome. Thank you again, Roger. First off, I got to shout out the B team, my teammates David and Steven who are running tonight, and massive shout out to Josh and Robert for putting this on. It's a blast running out here with all these guys, and looking forward to the next feature. Thank you also for all the work you do, Roger.
All right, man. Thanks for chatting. Congrats on the win, and hopefully we get to see you sweep this thing tonight.
I appreciate it, Roger.
Reed Brochard, the 93 machine, picking it up. The new paint seems to be helping him a little bit too. So let's look at our results. Brochart, Boyd, and Gerlach, 1, 2, 3. Krikorian in 4th. Brandon was 5th. That's a good run for Bo. That'll help him with the points. Him and Gerlach now probably going to be the two that'll be at the top. Anelski in 6th. Silby was 7th. Scott was 8th. Billy Barrows. Tough break, man. He was coming forward and then got into an incident, and he had to fight to get back to 9th. That's your defending series champion. But Robert Lynn in the 10th spot. Stephen Moore 11th. Mike Gebhardt was 12th. 13th. Brett Wagner. Kurt Vincent in 14th. Bad luck for him. He ended up a lap down on another one of those deals. It just wasn't even his fault. He just got caught up in somebody else's stuff. Cody Williams 15th, and Josh Cox early exit about halfway point. He will finish in 16th. We'll see most of these guys, if not all of them, back in session number 2. We are not going to go anywhere, so don't you go anywhere. We're going to crank up a little tunage. We're going to put up our splash screen while we make the shift. You guys don't need to see all the weird stuff that has to happen to go from one server to the other. While we do that, enjoy the music. We'll be back as soon as we get in there. Maybe we'll get a chance to talk to somebody else and see how they feel about session number 2 and improving onto their performance from session number 1. So, sit back, relax, go get an adult beverage if you gotta. Don't forget, say hi in the chat. We'll be back in just a moment. Alrighty, we are back. Session 2 warm-up underway. Oh boy, yeah, that didn't go right. Give us just a second. We're going to have to reload. It's alright. Ain't going to affect nothing. It's going to pop up. You just won't say the right thing at the beginning. Quick fix to that. We are back, ready to go, drivers. Getting just a couple of more minutes. What in the world just happened there? Okay, better. I know they told me they were going to advance pretty quick. That was a couple of minutes ago. I don't think they're going to let a whole lot go. We got 16 cars once again. So we are going to have another great show just like we had a little while ago with all the same drivers back in this. Really a good group of guys. They race each other very respectfully. Usually the cautions are either just for, a really silly mistake or a guy that just, maybe drove a little too hard on his own. But you don't see a whole lot of crazy pushing and shoving around here. Guys sliding into one another, all those things. You see very respectful racing in this series. So a lot of fun. I wish I could drive the Midget. I might not be in the booth. I might actually be out there on the track. But that thing, when I crawl in it, it wants to spin out sitting still in the pits. I cannot drive that car for squat. So watching Billy Barros. Had a pretty rough go of it in session number 1. He is going to have to do a lot, too. Get session number 2 a little better than session 1. Oh, okay, that's what that is. Well, that makes a whole lot more sense. Sorry, I was looking at some weird messages coming in, and I wasn't making heads or tails of them, and now I can. Whole lot smarter. All right. Difference between session 1, session 2. Drivers get to qualify in session number 2. Well, that ain't. We gotta stop doing that. So we will watch our drivers. There's Josh Cox rolling out. Robert Lynn. Let's see. There's Garrett Boyd already getting on the clock. We're waiting for Billy Barros. Barros is about to roll in. There he comes. He is going to roll out. So let's go back. We'll watch Silby. And he just rolled out. We'll watch Boyd. Boyd's coming around to put time up right there. His first lap. Second quick. Brannon, 14:19. Great lap for him. Barros now out of 3 and 4. He'll put time down lap number 1 for him. I don't know. I saw that big slip in 3 and 4. We'll see where he goes. Moves him to 3rd, almost 2/10 off. Craig Silby, 13:95. Crushes the competition. Here comes Barros for lap number 2. Lap number 2, slower. 14:30. Craig Silby. 14:27, slowed down drastically. David Krikorian now on track. Reed Brochart, the only car that has not rolled out for qualifying at this moment. That time, Krikorian 7th quick. See if he can pick it up on lap number 2. Lap 2 for Krikorian, 14:29. That is going to move him up to the 4th quickest. Locks him in for the feature. Silby, Brandon, Barros, Krikorian, Gebhardt, and Gerlach all locked in right now with Reed Brochart yet to go out. He is going to have to hustle to get a qualifying lap in. Your session 1 winner, if he's got to go through the LCQ, the best he can start is 7th. And we saw, that's a tall order. When you've got the likes of a Silby, a Brannon, a Barros, Krikorian, Gerlach, all those guys in front of you, tough sledding passing cars. They got to make mistakes. So we'll see. I don't know. I don't know if he's going to make it out for a lap. But we're going to be out of time here pretty quick. I know that. Qualifying session isn't infinite. Well, that got interesting in a hurry with your, there you go. Your session is ended. And your winner for session number 1, and he's going to have a tough time coming through. He's going to start 10th in the LCQ. And, wow, that is surprising to me. I have to say that. So let's go get ready to look at the starting grid for the LCQ. Top 6 were locked in for qualifying. This is 7th on back. It's Garrett Boyd, the 21, on the pole. Brett Wagner, the 98, on his outside. Your second row will be Wayne Anelski, 13. He'll have the inside line. Stephen Moore in the 69 will be on the out. Then Robert Lynn, 2-car inside row number 3 next to the 88 of Riley Scott. And your 4th row will be the 19 of Kurt Vincent. And his running partner, Cody Williams, in the 26 will sit on the outside of that row. Josh Cox, 6-car inside the back row. And Reed Brochart on the outside. And I'm going to tell you, I do not see the 93 car back here. Now, he'll still be in the feature, but starting 16th, that's going to make sweeping. Well, I'm not going to say it's impossible, but it and impossible share the same zip code. So, no invert. We did an invert last week, and apparently that was a big mistake. So, no invert in this. They're going to start heads up just the way that they qualified. They'll go green this time. 10 laps. Short and sweet, but final starting positions will be decided right here in the LCQ or under the green flag. Boyd with a good start, 3 wide behind Anelski. Wagner and Moore went 3 wide momentarily. And that's going to be Anelski, and Moore's going to go to the top side, try to take the 3rd spot away from Brett Wagner. Top side maybe not coming in quite yet. The momentum, the momentum will be, that was a big blink from the 88 car. The momentum will be there coming out of turn number 2, turn number 4. It's just you're going to lose a lot of ground going way wide. These guys are able to be super fast down around the bottom because the track's still got a lot of grip in there on the low side. Boyd just running away. He finished 2nd in session number 1, A main, and now he's coming through the LCQ. He's leading that, so the best he can start is 7th. If he can win here, Anelski hanging on good for 2nd. Stephen Moore still 3rd. Brett Wagner 4th. That's on the car on the inside, that green and black car. Then you're going to have a Robert Lynn in here running it in 5th. He's running on the bottom. Kurt Vincent 6th. Josh Cox up to 7th. Riley Scott is 8th. And Cody Williams. There must have been a problem we missed visually with those guys because they were a lot closer to the front when we started this thing. 4 laps to go in the LCQ. Boyd 1 1/4 seconds in front of Anelski and Wagner, and they're going side by side again. Bottom side looks like it's there right now. Maybe a little wide getting into the corner. It should give the advantage to Anelski down the backstretch, and it does. Popsicle sticks for the LCQ for Garrett Boyd. Top 5, really far away from everybody else. 6th on back, a good 6 seconds off the lead. So we're going to keep our eyes right here. 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. White flag for Boyd. He is 1.3 seconds ahead of everybody. Looks like he will easily pick up the win in the LCQ. He'll start inside the 4th row this evening with Wayne Anelski on his outside, then Wagner, Moore, Lynn, Cox, Williams, and Scott. Then Kurt Vincent and Reed Brochart scheduled to be on the back row of the feature. So we'll see how long we get for the warm-up. We're going to get a quick message from race control here. 2 minutes on the warm-up. That'll be pretty fast. Billy Barros.
Roger Wagner, how are you?
I am good, man. Tough sledding in session number 1. But you stuff it in the feature right from the get here in session number 2. Good qualifying effort. Man, all the guys that you were tight with the points with after the first night kind of got an advantage on you going in. Feel like you need to win this one?
Yeah, it's a bit unfortunate, but I mean that's the goal here. It's the goal every time. Just do the best I can, try to keep it clean, and see how far I can get to the front. Had some bad luck in my heat race and turned into some more bad luck in the feature, and just try not to do that again.
Well, you know, when you go back with the squirrels, you're bound to find the nuts.
So I've been told, and so I'm finding out.
Well, my man, we're going to wish you good luck. We know this is a pretty short session right here. Hopefully we get a chance to talk to you standing up on the podium at the end of this thing.
That sounds good. Thanks, Roger.
Billy Barros, defending series champion, just not having a good start to the Cedar Lake double show. So we'll see if he can turn it around in session number 2. That guy right there, well, he was front, then back, had technical issues when he was at the front, had to go to the back, carved his way back inside the top 5. So Brandon really charging hard. I think he still got a bitter taste in his mouth from losing that championship by just a couple of points last season. Getting some instructions for Riley Scott there. Thank you, Jesse. Appreciate everybody tuning in, guys. Thank you very much. Hope you're enjoying the show. First session was great. A lot of really good racing. We saw some weird things, and we saw some fantastic stuff. But it looks like we're getting ready to chop down the warm-up session. Bring everybody out here. Get them lined up for our 30-lap feature for round number 2 tonight. Gerlach and Gebhardt scheduled to be on the front row. Krikorian and Barros at row 2. Brandon and Silby, your third row. Those 6 drivers locked in from qualifying. So, Mr. Brandon having a pretty good night. He's been the nemesis of the 38 car over a season now, so we'll see how those two do tonight. But you got, a Josh Gerlach in there. Now you will have a Reed Brochard, who way at the back. I don't know if he's going to be able to sweep tonight. It's not looking good. It's pretty grim from 16th starting spot, but he'll be back there. Krikorian and Barros are row 2. Brandon Silby row 3. Boyd and Anelski row 4. Wagner and Moore in row 5. Then Robert Lynn and Josh Cox making up that 6th row. Cody Williams, Riley Scott row number 7, and as I mentioned at the end of the LCQ, Kurt Vincent, Reed Brochard making up the back. And I feel like Brochard missing qualifying has put himself in a big hole to start session number 2. We'll see what he can do. He was fast in session 1. He was able to hold off Garrett Boyd and pick up the win. Gerlach and Gebhard. Gerlach finished 3rd in the first feature. He started on the pole in feature number 1 last week, and he took that thing straight to the house. So we'll see. We'll see what he can do here in the second one tonight. Pace car getting out of the way. Gerlach's on the throttle. Oh, my gosh, the outside row. Probably trying to finish a sandwich and a Coke out there because, they were asleep. Way behind. Barros already contact with Gebhardt. Now goes 3 wide. He's going to get clear. Gerlach's got the lead. Brandon is right there. And Brandon dominated the first half of the first feature until he had a technical issue. Went to the back. That all kind of worked itself out, and then he drove himself back to 5th. So Brandon very fast, and he is going to put a challenge up here. We're going to get down here a little bit closer. Try to watch these two drivers. Good launch off the bottom. He's going to pull alongside, heading into 3 and 4. Up, caution before that can happen, so we'll have to regroup it. Do that again, and Mr. Riley Scott is going to have issues here. Let's see, that's the black, red, and white car. 4 wide right there for a second. Goes through 1 and 2. That's Williams cutting down just a little bit. And 2 cars can't occupy the same piece of real estate at the same moment. Luckily, it's just a spin out. I don't think any major damage to Riley Scott's car. But it's going to drop him back to 16th in this one. Brandon was going for the lead when the caution fell, but you go back to the last completed lap, and 71 of Gerlach had to the lead at that point. So we'll line them back up. Gerlach, Brandon, Krikorian, Boyd, Wagner, Barros, Silby, Lynn, Gebhardt, Williams, Moore, Anelski, Vincent, Cox, Brochard, and Scott. When we get ready to go back to green, which won't be this lap, probably going to be next lap. Yep. Lights go off on the safety truck. Everybody will get squared away here, single file. Pace truck's out of the way. Gerlach with another good start. He's going to open up 4 or 5 car lengths here. We'll see how long it takes Brandon to reel him in, though. You can see 4th place. Boyd went to the bottom. He had good momentum until the exit. That outside line just has so much drive coming down the hill off of the marbles. I think Krikorian is going to be able to hang on at least for a little while here. He brushes the fence again, and he will not be hanging on. Battle coming together for the lead. Here comes Brandon. Big slider, and he's got the lead for the moment. Gerlach going right back after him. Door shut down in 3 and 4. New leader, Bo Brandon, to the front. We'll see. Maybe no technical glitches this time. He was running away with the last one. Gerlach hanging on to second. Boyd going after Krikorian for third. Down the bottom to go back to the top. Here comes the Conqueror. Here comes Silby, and he's going to challenge Boyd for 4th and 5th. And right now he's got it at the line. He goes back to the bottom in 1 and 2. Slider line. Is he going to shut the door down the back stretch? Yes, he does. Boyd had to make a decision, and he made the right one. Keep the car in one piece. Go back on the attack, but right behind him, Billy Barros. And we got another caution. I think Brett Wagoner is going to be our victim this time. 88 car, that's the green and black car right in the middle of the screen right there. We'll see what happens. That's Williams on the outside. Oh, I'm not sure. That car unloaded to the right real hard right there, and he's going to get clipped by Gephardt. Lands on his wheels. He might be able to continue. So we'll get them lined up again. Going to be Brandon Gerlach, Krikorian, Silby, Boyd, Barros, Lynn, Williams, Moore, Gephardt. That's the top 10. Then Anelski, Cox, Brochart, Scott, Vincent, and Wagoner. Brochart, 3 spots, 10 laps into it. He's going to have to hustle if he's going to get back up here to the front. If he's going to sweep, he's going to really have to hustle that car. That is a tall order when you got a driver like Bo Brandon out in front. I think we're going to have one more pace lap. Everybody kind of getting in order where they're supposed to be. Camera guy up on the starter's stand, watching them go by. Pace truck about to get out of the way. Bo Brandon about to bring us back to the green. 20 laps remaining. Good start. Top 4 or 5 not changing. Barros is going after Boyd. That'll be a good one to watch. Billy Barros needs a very, very good run here, especially if Brandon wins, just to try to stay in touch this early in the season in the points. But Garrett Boyd not giving things up. Craig Silby's the guy on the move. He's up to third now, and he's challenging Gerlach. Silby, 3 spots improved, give him 4 now. He's up to second, and he is the fastest car on the track. Caution once again. Cody Williams, and Cody Williams has been right around everything that's kind of happened in this second feature this evening. We'll see what the 26 car does here. Oh, got up on the fence. Oh, yeah, biked it, and then really biked it into the outside wall. So self-inflicted. That's what I was saying before. A lot of the stuff is self-inflicted. It's not driver on driver. A little mistake, and the next thing you know, you're bouncing around sideways or up on 2 wheels, and somebody might get into you because they don't have time to react. So Brandon, Silby, Gerlach, Krikorian, Barros, Boyd, Lynn Moore, Anelski, Scott, Gephardt, Cox, Brochart, Wagner, Vincent, and then Williams to the back. Just about halfway. 1 lap short of being halfway in feature number 2. Our pace truck's going to get it out of the way this time, and Bo Brandon's going to bring us back to it. Silby all the way up to second now. And we'll see if he can run down the 49 car and put a challenge on. He's going to go to the bottom in 1 and 2. Brandon went to the top. Silby had the lead for about 22 feet. And Brandon off the top goes right back by. Now slider line for both. They're right together. Brandon will lead the lap. Silby to the bottom again, 1 and 2. He'll have the lead again. That momentum off the top side. This time they're a little more even, and Brandon tried to close the door, but Silby already had both feet inside, and Brandon leads the lap by about 6 inches that time. This time up the hill, trying to cut the line off, and that is a big momentum killer when you run that big slider line. And Silby couldn't make it stick. Brandon clear by a couple of car lengths. Now Gerlach still in third, Krikorian still fourth. So we have caution once again. Stephen Moore this time it looks like. Up to the top, around 2. I think that's Garrett Boyd right in front of him. Yep, too hot into 3 and 4. Jumps the fluff. Oh! And then Josh Cox finds him and really puts a spanky on him. I don't know if we had 4 cautions in the first one. Maybe. So we're right on par. We need to run the last about 14 laps of this one out without a caution. Silby Gerlach. Or no, it's Brandon Silby Gerlach, sorry. Then Krikorian, Barros, Boyd, Scott, Anelski, Cox, Brochart, Williams, Wagner, Vincent, Gebhardt, and Moore. Reed Brochart up to 11th as we get ready for the restart. Silby and Brandon going at it again in 1 and 2. Caution immediately. Oh no, I think we're going to see Reed Brochart have a problem. I don't know if it started in front of him or started behind him. Oh, he got turned. He just got turned by the 26 car. Tommy tip over. That's not good. Couldn't land it on its wheels. Couldn't drive away. Had to tow. Brochart wins feature number 1. And, well, the worst of luck in feature number 2. He's on the hook. Going to have to go back to the work area. We'll see if he comes back out. Well, hello, Tiny Dancer. All right. We might get our 1 to go right here. Let's watch and see. We do. It's 1 to go this time by, so they'll get single filed up. We got 12 laps remaining. You tell him I'm not. He's been old Wally falling back in this one, boy. Came forward and then went backwards, but we're under the green flag again. That time slider line, as Brandon said, you know, Silby's been getting a pretty good run here on the bottom on these restarts in 1 and 2. I'm going to go down there and just cover that right on up. And Silby had to do something different. Now he's got a challenge coming from the 71 of Gerlach. Barros is going top shelf in 1 and 2 as Krikorian now works alongside the 71 of Gerlach for the 3rd spot. Krikorian had success early last season and faded as the season wore on. Maybe trying to recapture some of that early season magic in this season. Right now, he's going to have his hands full as Billy Barros is up to the top side. Out of 4, trying to work around him. Barros needs a good run, needs to pass a couple of cars here, not let Brandon get too far away. They were a couple spots apart in feature number 1. He needs to not let Brandon get too many points on him. It's hard to make them up. Battle for the lead, shaping up again. Silby went for the slider. He's going to lose about 8 car lengths. He was dead beside him, middle of 1 and 2. Not so when they got to 3 and 4. Closes it up a little right there. He's going to have to stay up on the top, keep the momentum, get his runs down here in 3 and 4 maybe, because he's a little quicker down this end of the speedway. 6 laps that time by. Gerlach still 3rd, Krikorian 4th, Barros is 5th. He got around Boyd. Wave lap this time by. 5 to go for Bo Brandon. Here comes Silby again. Not able to get the slider going. Man, he's having to pin that car so hard. He's losing a lot of momentum there. 3 and 4, there's just not quite as much up there as there is at the top of 1 and 2. Silby not giving up on that, though. He is going to go after it. He just needs to be about 4 car lengths closer when they get to the end of the front stretch. 3 to go that time by. Watching the 2 leaders, best race on the track right now. These two trying to put a little action together. Silby wants to win. Brandon wants to take session number 2. Popsicle sticks that time. Lap traffic will not be a factor in this. Coming around to the white flag one more time around. Silby right around the bottom. I don't think that's going to get it done. It looks like it's a Bo Brandon kind of second show here. He'll come out of 4, win session number 2. Silby will be 2nd. Gerlach in 3rd. 4th place goes to Krikorian and 5th to Barros. So, he did it again. Couple of podiums here. Craig Silby will undoubtedly make his way in. Before we have to chat with him, we'll get ready to talk to our 3rd place driver once again. There's Craig Silby popping in. Good job, Craig. So a couple of 3rd places tonight. 71 car right back up there. Man, just looks like Cedar Lake and 3rd place are for you.
Yeah, I wish we were a couple spots better, but just the way that the kind of everything shook out, and just didn't have quite as much grip on the 2nd session. I was probably a 3rd place car, so congrats to Bo. Happy to see him get a finish that he deserved after what happened in the first race, and it's always fun racing him and Craig, and yeah, happy to be on the podium again.
Yeah, it looked like the track was considerably different for this one. Is that maybe what led to the couple extra cautions we had in session number 2 versus session number 1?
I'll be honest, I'm not quite sure. With not having mirrors, it's tough to know what happens out behind you. So from the way it sounded, the NetCode kind of was a little touch and go on this session or this track too. So it's possible, but I don't think that the little string of cautions there that we had in the middle of the race helped either. It kind of seemed like we packed down the grip that we did have and blew it off pretty quick, and then we kind of just went to the slider line after that.
All right, man. Shout outs, thank yous, and we'll let you celebrate another podium finish this evening.
Thanks, sir. Yeah, I just want to, again, like I said before, thank everybody that comes out and supports us each and every week. We made some big changes for this season, and it's really paying off so far. Want to thank netcodeshop.com, netcode brand, alwaysraceday.com, Methanol Moonshine, and Victory Fuel, and you for always putting up with us, Roger.
All right, man. Congrats on great runs tonight, and I will look forward to being back with you guys next week.
Thanks, sir.
Josh Gerlach, another third place finish this evening. How we get to move on. And we didn't get to talk to him in the first session, but we do in the second. He just comes up a little bit short. Greg, pretty good second show for you.
Yeah, there was a little bit of redemption. Yeah, I just stepped on it in the first one. I just didn't think Josh was that close, but he was right there, and stuffed us both in the wall, which was really bad. But yeah, this race was hard. I came off 7th, I think, and 6th or 7th, and yeah, these guys are just real hard to. It's just fantastic racing. It's good fun.
Yeah, little redemption. I had mentioned to the fans that a couple of seasons ago, 7 car comes in one night and dominates both races and sweeps. A lot has changed since then.
A lot has changed. The other guys are just getting better and better and better, and I guess I'm just still staying the same. So we're all balancing out and having some really good racing.
Yeah, and it looked like it was a lot of fun. Like I said, you went down to the bottom, and I don't know, it just looked like the track went through a lot of changes in that 30 laps. How are you able to get alongside? And I know you weren't able to keep it, but how were you able to at least get alongside Bo and force him to do something different with his line?
Yeah, I 1 and 2 down bottom was really gripped up there for a few laps, and but yeah, it was super thin. So, and if you're coming down from the top and you're bombing into it, it's you got to get it right, or it's all bad. So and the rest of the track was really hard to pick. It was. Even though it looked pretty fresh, there's not much traction.
All right, man. Well, give me some shout-outs and some thank yous, and we'll let you celebrate a great second show tonight.
Yeah, thanks, Roger. Thanks to the Digital Sim Sports Network for putting us online. It's awesome to watch the footage, and thanks to NetCode ESports, Josh and Robert, and all the guys that show up every week to this series. It's such good fun to race against these guys, and looking forward to the next one.
All right, man. Thanks for chatting with us. Congrats on the great second show, and I'll look forward to seeing you next week, buddy.
Thank you.
Craig Silby, the Kiwi Conqueror. He finishes second. And what could have been tonight. He does get the win in show number 2, but want to talk to him about show number 1. A little bit of heartbreak in show number 1, Bo.
Yeah, you could say that again. Let's just say it's tough to drive a car if you can't see, and so when you have some technical failures midway through a race and you're leading and your screen goes black, it's really tough to keep the car going straight. So that's what happened on the first race, which is a shame because I feel like that was my race to lose with how that thing was going. I know I was pretty far ahead on that one, and it looked like we were going to stay green for the whole thing. So I'm pretty disappointed about that. I've had terrible luck at this track. I've always been really fast here, but it's either something like that, which that's actually the second time this has happened to me at this track, or some other unfortunate luck passes by, and it always leaves me short. So it's a bit bittersweet because I did get this win in this second race, which I'm really happy about, obviously. So a very eventful night. On top of that, I have a new steering wheel that I'm trying out tonight. So I finally went ahead and upgraded. I thought that was going to be the variable tonight that might cause issues, and man, it worked like a charm. So wasn't that's for sure.
Awesome. And you said it's hard to drive a race car if you can't see. Carson Hocevar does it every week. He can't see squat if he runs into that many people. I don't know.
Hey, you said it, not me. You said it, not me.
I'm just funning, man. Awesome from me. We haven't had a sweep in this series in a very long time, and I think your technical issue probably prevented us seeing that tonight.
Yeah, I think so. And considering I won the last race that would have been 3 in a row if I was able to make if the second race tonight had gone the way it went and that first one had gone my way, that would have been a 3 in a row.
Yeah.
So that would have been nice. I'm really happy though for Reed. He's been so close for such a long time, and he couldn't have gone to a better guy. So really happy about him winning that if I couldn't. So props to him. I did manage a 5th. I fought my way back up to a 5th place finish, so I think I salvaged a good points night anyway, even with the technical difficulties. So overall, pretty pleased, but oh man, what could have been. So.
All right, man. Well, give me some shout-outs, some thank yous, and we will let you celebrate the victory in round number 2. And I'm pretty sure after that you're going to have the points lead.
I hope so. I think so. It's tough to know with the math, especially after a couple of weeks, But I can't thank Variix.com enough. I can't thank Mighty Good Marketing enough. My wife, my parents, everybody in this league. It's just a blast to race with these guys. I got to give a quick shout out to Craig for not taking me out. That was such a good battle there at the last half of that second race. A lot of fun to race with him and everybody else. And thank you to thanks Roger and the Dirt Racing Network for making us look good on the YouTubes and the Twitch and the Facebooks. And give a like or follow wherever you're watching from, because we're here every Thursday.
All right, man. Congrats on the win. We'll look forward to seeing what you can do next week. Maybe you can pick up that streak and finally get that 3 in a row.
Man, that'd be great. Thanks, Roger.
All right, buddy. T-Bo Brandon picking up the win in session number 2. He won session 2 last week. Like he said, he could have went for 3 in a row. Just an unfortunate deal right there. So take a quick peek here at our race results. It was Brandon Silby Gerlach, 1, 2, 3. Kukorian in 4th. Barros, another good run. He did manage to come up, finish 5th in this one. So he'll stay close. I just think he'll be probably 3rd or 4th in the points going into next week, because Gerlach's had 4 straight good races. Brandon's had 3 out of 4 that were really good. So we'll see there. Boyd was 6th, Lynn 7th, Williams 8th, Scott 9th, Anelski 10th, 11th was Cox, Wagner in 12th, Vincent 13th, Moore 14th, Gebhardt 15th, and the guy that won session number 1 had high hopes to see a sweep. This session 2 was just not going to go for him, and he ends up about the halfway point getting knocked out of this one. So he does break through and get his first series win, only to have heartbreak in 16th in session number 2. So good night of racing, a lot of fun. Guys, I thank you very much for being here. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure that you like, share, and follow on Facebook. Subscribe on YouTube, Twitch, and Trovo. We are here 4 nights a week. A lot of times on Mondays, it is Zach Krieger, but I'll tell you what, somebody that's way, way better than me at this stuff, that's the kid, and he comes in and helps us on Monday nights when he can. So make sure you especially mark down for Monday nights. But Sunday night, 8 o'clock Eastern, it will be MARS, Scrub It Up Car Wash and Oil Change Center's Limited Late Model Series back in action. And then double shows on Monday with the Dirt Slingers Racing League. Their Monday Night Thunder, Big Block Modifieds at 8 p.m. and UMP Modifieds at 9:30. They go, for most part, all season they follow the same schedule. So whatever track you see them at the first show, you'll see them the same track in a different car at the second show. And then season finale for Short Track Showdown Series. That is Tuesday night at 8:30 Eastern. And we'll swing all the way back around 7 days from today and be right back with the NetCode ESports Mighty Midget Series. I want to thank all the great leagues that give us fantastic racing to cover. Without you guys, the fans, there's no reason for us to do it. And without them, there's nothing to cover. So thanks to everyone involved in both sides of that. We appreciate you being here. Love everybody, guys. Keep the rough side down when you go to the dirt.